Hi. For those of you who are new to my channel, I'm JessicaCross, and we're going to be doing a few meditations tonight for relaxation, and it's wonderful to use them before you go to sleep, because then during your dreams you usually will get more information, so make sure to have a pad and a pencil nearby when you go to sleep. And I am trying to up my game a little bit tonight. I have a very fancy webcam that I never use because it does not work well for recording, but it's supposed to be made for this kind of stuff. So hopefully it will work for this. And I'm using my good mic, which you guys can see right here. So do let me know how the audio and the video look, because I won't know until I watch it later. And I want to say hi to Amber and hi to Tom. And although these will be intuitive meditations, and I don't know what they will be, I am going to plan on having them around breaking through barriers. So we discussed it in the Facebook group a little bit. That's something that many people in the group are struggling with. If you're interested in having kind of a closer discussion about these kind of meditations, you can ask to be in the Passion Project on Facebook. And I want to make sure that you guys are seeing me, and I think you are. Okay, great. So I am going to ramble a little bit before we get started. Just let people get in here. Hi, Stephanie. I'm so glad you're here. And then we're going to go right into meditation because we're probably going to do at least 3 meditations tonight. Hi, Brittany. Oh, good. The gang's all here. It's wonderful. I'm so glad you're all here. So tonight, one of the reasons I really wanted to do this, even though you may hear I have a little bit of a cold, I'm actually going to put a cough drop in my mouth. So for those of you who like those teeth sounds, you're going to get them. But I wanted to do this anyway because it's the solar eclipse. It was a solar eclipse about 2 hours ago, and it's a new moon. And Katie reminded me that the moon goes void, of course, in about 45 minutes, which just means that the moon seems to stop moving. So I believe, I am not an astrologer, but it means that you're not really supposed to do anything serious. You're supposed to do kind of internal work. So yes, I'm very, very glad this is happening. It's also, for those of you who know me, a solar eclipse in my sign, and it's a solar eclipse very, very close to my birthday. My birthday is Friday, and so when you look at the degree in Pisces that this solar eclipse is, it's pretty much, it's basically for anybody who was born on the 10th, and I was born on the 11th, so it's so close that it's actually supposed to bring very good things my way, and the energy of the solar eclipse is supposed to start kind of 5 days before. And so the funny thing is literally 5 days before, which is Friday, for some reason my Twitter feed went insane. So I'm not entirely sure what happened. I started using a few different hashtags, but I think it's actually because an author who has many, many, many followers, but only follows 19 people, started following me, and he liked 3 or 4 of my posts. And so I went from getting 1,500 to 2,000 views a day to, by Sunday, getting 20,000 views just in that day. So it went from like 9,000 Friday, 14,000 Saturday, 20,000 Sunday. So that was a really good start to this eclipse energy. Very exciting. And I do, if you guys are interested, you can check me out, JessicaCross on Twitter. And you may have noticed that I am not Nutty McFreak anymore. So, I've agonized about this for a long time, this decision. And for some reason, the other day, I just did it and I didn't even think about it. And I think part of it is because you may know I'm moving a little bit, at least temporarily, away from ASMR role plays. Kind of burnt out on them. I've done them for 3.5 years, and I'm really focusing more on the meditations. So it seemed like a good transition time to become JessicaCross instead of Nutty McFreak. So for those of you who loved Nutty McFreak, I do too. And there will probably be more Nutty McFreak things, but they'll probably be different. So Tom is going to be Katie. And with that, I think we're going to get ready to do a meditation. If you notice me getting hot, it is like 76 degrees upstairs in my house today. Yesterday was freezing. This morning I was wearing a robe around, and by the afternoon it was like 75 outside. So that is spring here in the South. So it snowed on Friday, and it's supposed to be 80 on Thursday. So yeah, and for those of you in the UK, that's hot. I used to be able to do the conversion, but I can't do it anymore. I haven't been in Celsius for a while. So hi Sophie, I'm so excited you're here. We never get to have you on live, Sophie. It's very, very exciting. All right, so we have lots of things happening astrologically, and so I was excited to do this tonight, even though I may be a little raspy, and I apologize. So I am going to get ready to go into meditation now that we have sort of a critical mass. So I'm going to spray some bergamot. And like I said, the plan is to have these about breaking barriers, but I'm not sure how that'll happen. And I'm not sure if they will seem really clear to a lot of people. Yes, Sophie, it is beautiful here, but it gets a lot colder in the winter here than it does year end, I think. So, and I may be coming to visit you next summer. Next summer, my husband has a conference again, Sophie, but this time it's in the summer. So I couldn't justify coming last time because it was about $1,200 for a ticket, and I couldn't spend that to come basically for a weekend. Oh, now that Katie's here, we can definitely get started. Okay, good. Hi, Katie. I couldn't justify spending that kind of money and saving up for it to go for basically a weekend because my husband was going to have to come right back to teach. But in the summer, we could probably stay for a week. So, especially because we have friends, not just you, but we have other friends down in Cork that we could probably stay with. So that would save us money and allow us to stay longer. So yeah, I hope you're around. But aren't you moving our way? Aren't you considering moving out here if you move? I've been to Cork. I came out once, I think in April, and I was told it's going to rain, and it didn't. We had totally fluke weather, and it was beautiful. We had a few rainy afternoons, but it was beautiful. You're thinking of moving to Spain. I want to go there. That is in the plans. And for those of you, you guys may know I'm going back to Indonesia in May, and I am so excited. I haven't been back in 10 years, so I'm trying to learn my Indonesian again, and I would love to get my Spanish back. My Spanish used to be better than my Indonesian, but it's been 20 years for Spanish, so it's pretty much gone. I understand it, but I can't speak it at all. Indonesian comes out of my mouth, and my Indonesian's bad, so it all comes out of my mouth bad. Yeah, that would be great, Tom. And maybe we could, we may be able to come your way if we're able to stay in the area for a while. But yeah, it's all very exciting travel stuff. So, and I always have my pipe dreams. And my next thing is there's this company called Trip Tribe where they will set up your retreat. So when that starts happening, I will send you out the different itineraries and we can pick where we all want to go. I can't bring Miss Rose because my son took her hat to school. So hopefully I will have her hat back by next summer. So, all right. And that was my husband coming in the door and slamming it loudly, which I knew was going to happen. So now that's happened. Hi. Is it Rochelle or Rachel? I assume it's Rochelle with the 2 L's, but let me know. We are happy you are here. And before I talk too long, because I've been talking about 15 minutes, let's do a meditation. So I know Robin's not here, but Robin had mentioned that she was really needing something about breaking barriers, and a few people kind of agreed with her. So I think that's kind of where our meditations will take us tonight, and we will see. Hi, Jacqueline. Okay, so now we're all going to get comfortable and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths with me. Let go of any worries of the day, at least for now. And find yourself walking down a path into a small village. As you enter the village, you notice the villagers start to exit their homes to watch you as if they've been waiting for you. They look happy to see you, and it feels like a homecoming. And maybe it is, as you are drawn to one small house near the edge of the village, and the door is slightly ajar. And you know this is your place. And you walk up to the door and wave to the villagers, and they wave at you with big smiles on their face. And you enter the cottage, which is a bit dusty and smells a bit damp. And you have a feeling you have been gone for a while, and while someone has been checking up on the place, it has not been completely taken care of. It does not look run down, but just like a level of dust has accumulated on the furniture. And you walk around the rooms in the cottage and then roll up your sleeves to get to the task of making this a place where you will want to stay. Go to the kitchen and look under the sink, and there you find a dust rag and a duster and everything you need. Again, the place is not dirty, just dusty. Take these items out, and before you start, go and open all of the windows and the doors so that when you dust, the clean, warm air will enter the home and the dust will leave. And you will be left feeling like you can start anew and everything will be ready for you to begin fresh. Once you have opened all the windows and doors, take your duster and your dust rag and begin to walk around from room to room, dusting. You may spray on the dust rag to collect the dust, and the air begins moving through the home. And you feel the light shine in from the sun, making the cottage feel homey and comfortable. Work your way up to the bedroom upstairs and dust the bedroom. The bed is bare, so retrieve new linens which smell freshly washed, as if someone knew you were coming and hurriedly left you a new set of sheets and blankets. Place them on the bed and smell the fresh scent of air-dried linens. The pillows you find look new. And as you make the bed, you feel that most everything is all set for you to live there again. Now I want you to walk around from room to room. The rooms are now clean. But in each room, you may find an item that you feel it is time to get rid of and make space for the new things you have brought back on your trip and the new things you want to come to you. This is a time of new beginnings and of letting go of the old that no longer fits you and may be holding you back. Place the items you have found on the kitchen table and look at each item and think what it might represent for you. And when you are ready, find a box underneath the sink and place your items in the box. In one of the drawers you find a marker and write on the box, donations. And take the box out to your front stoop and place the box out there for collection. And now I want you to retrieve a bag that you have brought with you on your journey. And at the kitchen table, begin to remove some of the items that you have brought with you that you want to bring into your life. Look at each item and think what it may represent. Look at the items on your table and smile as you think about where you will place them in your home. Now I want you to walk out the back door into your garden and look at the beauty all around you and feel the hope of what will come. And as you look up in the sky, you notice that the moon has just begun to cover the sun. And with this eclipse, you know that the earth is also starting a new beginning. And you feel at peace and ready for this change. Now I want you to hear the sounds around your physical body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you feel ready, open your eyes. Hi, Sarah. I don't know if you caught your typo on Facebook, but you asked me to send food vibes to your son, and I got a really big kick out of it. That was a really nice one. When I think of breaking barriers, I'm never sure what's going to come because those can be really intense, and they may still be, but so far that one was pretty calm and enjoyable, at least for me. I'd love to know how it was for you guys. And I didn't know the eclipse would work its way in there. I never know what's going to happen on these. But I enjoyed that one. That was a nice start and a nice way to look at new beginnings. So I think that's one of the important things with breaking down barriers is if it hasn't been working so far, we need to start new. And we need to look at what needs to change. We can't keep beating our head against a wall. So what's a new angle if we're not really ready to start something completely new? Or what's a new tactic? So for me, it was moving from ASMR more into the meditations. And there's been a lot of updating that has happened with that. And that was an important move for me to make. So I hope some of you have an idea of what that should be for you. And if not, that maybe these meditations will help guide you with that. Oh, good. Well, I know at least with your reading, Sophie, you've got some big stuff going on. So, and I think you agree with that. So, yeah, I think I talked about this in my Patreon video too, that my word for the year is flow. And it's very hard for me to let things flow and to not push. Because my immediate reaction when things aren't moving quickly enough is fear. And so my reaction to fear is I have to do something, I have to do something, I have to do something. And I'm trying to be able to sit with my fear a little bit more. Because things never move forward because I'm afraid and I'm pushing too hard. So I'm glad you liked it, Amber. Big things happening for Amber too. I stalk you on Facebook. Well, Tom, I know that's something that you had an issue with in the beginning too. And the thing that I always say is even if you just get a feeling or a color or something like that, it may become clear to you later as to what the meaning of it is. It doesn't always have to be literal. So for me, when I go into meditation, I see things visually very easily, items, and I hear people talking to me very easily. But I know a lot of meditations. I did a meditation today where I was supposed to see writing on a whiteboard, and I have a very hard time visualizing writing and using my intuition for writing. I don't know why. It's also one of the reasons why I wanted to do 3 meditations in a row for these, because I think that uh, even if the first one you're not getting a lot, by the third one you're getting more. So I didn't do the things to let go of with you guys because I was, keeping track of making sure that things weren't freezing up. But I did do the what I'm bringing in. I'm trying to think of what I had some money. I did. I had a I had a doll that represented a tarot card I've been working with. I had a clothespin. I have no idea what the clothespin was for. I'm gonna have to think about it a little bit more as to what the clothespin meant for me. I had one other item. I'm trying to think of what it was. I can't remember at this moment. I will remember what it was, but yeah. So it can be anything like that. It can be a feeling. I mean, it doesn't have to be as symbolic either. So okay, obviously the money was not symbolic for me. I want more money coming in. I want financial freedom from my day job. So that's something that's very clear to me. But like the symbolism of the clothespin, I don't know yet, and I'll have to think about it, and I'll have to spend some time pondering what that means. Again, I just kind of think about the airing out, like when you hang things on a line, and that the wind and air drying it and how clear and fresh that is. That's kind of what it makes me think of. So I have to just think about what that represents for me in my life. So I hope that's helpful for you, Tom. And again, if you see one item, that's fine. If you see lots of items, that's fine. If you, again, have a feeling or a thought, it doesn't have to be symbolic either. So I don't know if that is helpful. All right. Yeah, that's exactly right, Sophie. It totally depends on what you get. So, all right. So I think we're going to be ready to go into another meditation. But yeah, take whatever you get. And again, it may be something that comes to you later too. Sometimes I have a really easy time meditating. Sometimes not very much comes to me. Sometimes I know I'm leading it a little bit too much. But hopefully by this third one, you will really have things coming to you a lot easier. Oh, that's beautiful, Katie. That's very nice. Okay. Well, I am going to start getting us ready to go into another meditation so we can get through a few more. So I want you to get comfortable and take a few deep breaths. And find yourself walking toward a wall, but it's a large stone wall. It looks as if it was the walls of a castle or village, but what lay beyond it is no longer there. It does look sturdy though and safe, and you see a stone stair leading to the top of this wall. I want you to climb up, and the wall has a good 3 or 4 feet at the top with small walls on either side, so you feel safe and comfortable walking on this wall. When you get to the top, you are able to look out over the landscape around you. On one side of the wall, the land is a bit desolate. It looks as if there has been a fire. And the earth is scorched in some areas. And the ground is mostly sand and dry dirt. And you look off into the distance on this side, and it appears that this destruction goes on for quite a ways. And I want you to feel how it makes you feel looking at this area of the earth, and how you have felt that way in your life, maybe recently. Something that has made you feel like all is lost, and that it may never return. And feel that feeling for a little bit. And now I want you to turn to the other side of the wall. And on this side, the ground is lush and green, and it is as if the wall was a fire break. As there are trees and grass, and you see a little river, and there are mountains off in the distance, and the area is beautiful and calm and vibrant, and the colors look that much brighter after having looked at the other side of the wall. The greens you may not have noticed as much pop, and you see the sunlight off of the water of the stream, and everything is a marvel around you. And you know that the other side of the wall can become like this again, but it will take time. And you are so grateful to have this view now, and to know that over here there's beauty and there's wonder. Feel what it feels like to look at this landscape and think of what in your life has this beauty and this wonder. And feel the gratitude for those things in your life. Now I want you to walk a little farther along the wall, and up ahead, the walls on either side of you get higher, as if you're going through a tunnel, but it has no roof, and you are only able to see the blue of the sky above you. And as you walk through this tunnel, how does it make you feel to no longer see either side of the landscape and to only have the narrow view of the sky above you? Although it is blue, it is a very limited view. What do you hope you will see when you exit this tunnel? You start to see light ahead, and you almost rush towards it. And the walls decrease in size again. And you can now see either side of the wall again. How does the landscape look now? Is it the same as before you entered the tunnel? You feel the breeze blow your hair and rush by your face. And you are so grateful for the movement of the air and the view you now have. You see now another staircase leading down into a small courtyard on the green side of the wall. You walk down into this courtyard, and in the center of this small garden there is a round pool. I would like you to kneel by the pool and look in to see what visions this journey has brought you. Take whatever it is given, whether it's a feeling or a color or a picture or a face or even a thought. When you are ready, raise your eyes from the pool, and you notice on a bench over to the side of the courtyard sits one of your guides. Walk over to them and greet them. If they are new to you, you may ask their name and ask them for clarity about what you've seen and felt on this journey. Thank your guide and rise from the bench. Begin to walk back through the courtyard. Begin to hear the sounds around your physical body. You may wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you feel ready, open your eyes. That was a challenging one. I hope you guys were okay with that. I'm not quite sure how entirely that fits in with breaking barriers. Except that gratitude is a big part of breaking through barriers. It's very hard to move forward when we are not grateful for what we have. And be interested to see what that felt like for you guys. Thank you, Brittany. I think I may have scratched my cornea of my contacts, and I'm an idiot and I keep wearing my contacts anyway, so it won't heal right. But it was bothering me, so I decided to put my glasses on. They are cheapo glasses, although I have Coke bottles, so I have to get them like shaved down. I have the worst eyes of anybody I know in the whole world. So oh, Sophie, that's beautiful. I kind of felt that too. And I have done that too. I have, I play it safe a lot. I've played it safe in my life a lot because I'm so afraid of the scorched side. And you don't get as beautiful side if you play it safe all the time. So I'm glad that made sense to you too, Sophie. I know some of you know Brave Girls Club. Brave Girls Club is an organization that puts out different workshops, online workshops regularly, and I got grandfathered in at a very inexpensive rate, so I'm with them. And the one that just came out was about moving forward. And one of the important things in it was to really sit with what the feeling is that that you're afraid of, that sitting with the feeling of what is holding you back. And I have a very hard time doing that. And when I sat and did that a few times recently, I run away from things that make me feel uncomfortable a lot. So it keeps me from learning from them, and it keeps me from moving forward. If you don't deal with the feeling, you don't move forward. So I keep myself in that in that tunnel a lot too, and I'm really it's working hard to move out of the tunnel. So I'm glad you liked that one, Katie. I'm glad you liked that one, Sophie. Yeah, the past can be a barrier for a lot of us. I'm glad that came across. Oh, hi. Hi, V. I was just waiting to see your name because I know your name and I know you don't always announce it. So I'm so glad you're here, V. Oh, I'm glad you made it. I'm not having really too much light sensitivity. I've scratched my cornea a million times. I mean, I've had contacts since I was 12 years old. So pretty much anybody who's had contacts is going to scratch their cornea at some point. And I know perfectly well that I shouldn't wear my contacts for a week, but I don't ever mind you sharing, Amber. Oh, Amber, that's beautiful. I saw the scorched land growing back too. So when I came out of the tunnel, on the scorched part, it was almost like a part I couldn't see before I had gone through the tunnel, and it was in the corner and it was starting to become green. Oh, yeah, my eye'll be fine. Honey, Medusa, you actually win, I think. I think I'm 10-5. I think I'm 10-5. So you were the first person I've ever met who has worse eyes than me. My husband has like 4.25, and I have put them in my eyes and don't know that I have them on because they do nothing. Oh, yay, Guy. I'm so glad you made it. I think we all go there, Guy. I know I have. Yeah. It's hard work, though. And that's why I'm glad the first one was a little bit easier. And I'm kind of hoping the last one is a little easier, too. I like when they're sandwiched in with ones that are a little bit kinder. Although I say that, okay, love you, Sophie. Hope I didn't leave you on too harsh of a note, but I know you do shadow work all the time, so I am sure you know how to take care of yourself. I think I totally forgot what I was saying. So I think when they're sandwiched in with easier ones, it makes the hard one a little bit easier to deal. Hey, Medusa, maybe it's what makes us so intuitive. We can't see the world normally anyway, so who's to believe it's really there? There's some TED Talk stuff about how, our version of the world is what we see of it, and who knows if we really see it accurately. So I was talking about like certain beetles who will have sex with soda cans because they think they are the same kind of beetle. And I'm sure we have things like that. We don't see colors that a lot of other animals and insects and things see, and who knows if we see what's accurate. So I know I can't even see me with these off, so who knows? Who knows if I have to believe that it's all really there. Oh, I'm so glad that was relevant for you, Tom. I'm so happy when these are helpful for you. And it's funny because I know when I say that the first one was easier, for some of you it won't have been. So sometimes the ones that I am done doing the meditation, I'm like, oh, that actually seemed kind of lame. I then get feedback from some of you that it was your favorite one. So again, so much of this is internal. It just depends on what clicks for you and what doesn't. Oh, beautiful, Katie. That's so nice. Well, Medusa, let me know if you have the. I don't know if you did the show books. If you want to, oh, I hope I have those up. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna keep reading your. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? We're doing better. Better than last time, at least. Yeah, I've got the right mic selected, but I just switched to the mic with the camera. So we'll see if the mic with the camera works. Yay! Good. Okay. Well, that may be our sign that we need to do the last meditation before everything goes to hell. Okay. Somebody asked what we were talking about. We're talking about the meditation we just did, and now we are back. So those of you who just joined in, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are going to do one more meditation, and then if you want, you can go back and watch the first two that we did. All right. Let's get comfortable. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. And find yourself walking through a meadow. And at one end of the meadow, there is a tent. It has a little campfire that is still smoking. So it seems that someone has been there recently. Walk towards the tent. And as you get closer, you see some movement inside of the tent. And you know there is a guide waiting for you in there. The flap of the tent is open, and you peek inside. Who or what is in there? They come out of the tent to greet you. If this is a new guide for you, you may ask them their name. Ask your guide what they are there to teach you today. And the guide, surprisingly, says they are there to teach you how to shoot an arrow. And you notice that on the other side of the meadow there is a marker, and your guide retrieves a bow and arrow for you from the tent, and you walk over. Your guide uses their bow and arrow and shoots at the marker, sending 3 arrows beautifully into the middle. Your guide then shows you how to place an arrow on the bow, and how to pull back the arrow to shoot towards the marker. Hear the wind as it blows the arrow past your face. Feel the string of the bow near your cheek and the power you feel as you shoot the arrow. Where does it hit on the marker? Your guide helps you again to take another arrow and shoot it towards the marker. Feel the power as you pull back the string of the bow and let it go, getting closer to the middle this time. And this time you set up the arrow yourself, and you're starting to feel competent and strong as you pull back the arrow and let it fly towards the marker. Your guide asks you to retrieve the arrows from the marker, and you do. How close was your final arrow to the middle? Are you surprised by how quickly you improved at shooting the arrows, which may be a task you have never done before? As you walk back to your guide tells you to take the next arrow and set an intention as to what you want this arrow to bring you moving forward. And I want you to notch the arrow and pull back the bow and shoot the arrow and watch it fly beautifully to hit the marker right in the middle. Your guide asks you to take another arrow if you have another intention you would like to set, moving forward through the spring and the summer for those of us in the northern hemisphere. And for the intentions we may want to set internally for those of us in the Southern Hemisphere with our shadow work and our inner meditations. Notch the arrow when you know what intention you would like to set and pull it back and shoot it and watch it fly to land right next to the other arrow in the center of the marker. And you may choose one more arrow if you have a final intention to set. And you feel confident and strong as you notch the arrow and pull it back and use your strength to shoot it right next to the other two arrows in the center of the marker. Your guide congratulates you on your accomplishment and asks you to join them next to the fire. Ask your guide how to maintain this strength of purpose for the intentions you have set over the next month. Thank your guide. Take their hands, and as you do, you feel a rush of power from your guide, giving you that extra boost that you may need for healing or just for the soft strength needed to keep going this month. It's not about pushing hard. It is about taking one step after another. When you are ready, release your guide's hands, thank them again. Begin to walk back through the meadow. Hear the sounds around your physical body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. When you are ready, open your eyes. So, my guide reminded me that all I need to do is 10 minutes every day. That's the way most things work for me. If I start to think I have to do massive amounts, I get overwhelmed and I stop. So 10 minutes a day is all that is really needed. Hi. A dream beam, I don't know your real name. I probably do, but it's not coming to me right now. So, hi. I'm glad you're here. I'm sorry you just caught the end. But I think we just made it before the moon void, of course. And actually, the moon void, of course, might have helped with that meditation. It won't help with the video, so it could crash at any point. Natalie, I'm sorry. I totally knew your name. It just wasn't coming to me. Hi, Natalie. I'm so glad you're here. So I'm wondering while we still have video, and if it crashes, I am going to just say goodnight for the night. But I'm wondering how that last meditation was for you. It was a strange one for me. It kept wanting to go to the shooting arrows, and I fought it a little bit. It really did. But it eventually made sense to me. You're too funny, man. I have a couple of male guides that are my regular kind of daily guide that my teacher is male. And I have a different guide for each of my chakras. Not surprisingly, my sacral chakra is male. For those of you who know your chakras, you may know why that's not surprising. Oh, that's awesome. So you found an animal totem, babe. That's exciting. Miss Rose hasn't ever been my guide because that would be too weird because it would be me. I do have a guide that's me, but she's me at about 7. So yeah, I think it would be weird. Now, my mom Brigitte, it wouldn't surprise me if my mom Brigitte is ever a guide for me, but she wouldn't look like me. Miss Rose is me. My mom Brigitte is not me. My mom Brigitte is some scary shit. So yeah, it might freak me out if she showed up as a guide. Yeah, I learned to shoot arrows in Girl Scout camp too. Actually, no, it was a YMCA camp. I really liked it. And I think one of the reasons it may have come back to me is it was one where I was not an athletic kid. I was a fat little non-group sport playing kid. And I loved archery because it's one with a learning curve to get at least so you can like shoot into the mark. And I don't know if they're called marks. That's what came to me. I don't think they are, but I don't remember what they're called. The learning curve was not very hard to at least be able to hit the thing. To get really good at it, I'm sure there's a large learning curve. But yeah, I remember like being pretty proud of myself pretty quick that I could shoot the arrow. Oh, did you figure out what your Achilles heel was? Or was it somebody else's Achilles heel? Why is there a campfire on the arrow field? I don't know, because there was I think because your guide was staying there in the tent. And that's how you knew. Yeah, targets, I think. That would make sense. Can the chakras have individual genders? I don't think of chakras internally having individual genders. The sacral chakra is kind of your sexual chakra. So it's not surprising for me. Just for me, it makes sense for me that my being on the straight end of the spectrum woman, that my sacral chakra guide would be a man. So that's why I think of that. So, well, Katie, again, what you should do is you should listen to them and then go to sleep and then write down your dreams, because that would be really interesting what happened in your dreams. So, all right. I think I'm going to call it a night because I can hear people moving around up here. So, all right. I'm going to let you go. Good night, guys. Thank you for joining me. Bye.